Do you know that players who dedicate themselves to one opening and master it very well tend to see better results than those who play every opening out there? Take, for instance, the Max Lynch attack. That can arise from several different opening lines, including the two knights defense and the Jiwoko piano, beginning with the moves e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, and then black plays bishop c5, the top played move. Or let's begin with knight f6, the two knights defense. Specializing in one opening like the Italian game can be so advantageous for your chess improvement process. You will become more familiar with the moves. Your intuition will become more powerful over time. For example, after black plays knight f6, I just recommend that you castle short. And as you can see in the Lichess database, bishop c5 by black is the top played move in this position. But let's just see what you can do if they take on e4 first. You can go knight c3, knight takes, pawn takes. And again, there are two options for black to play, either bishop e7 or f6, the top engine move. Let's begin with bishop e7. In this line, since you are down a pawn, all you just want to do is to get back your pawn, beginning with the move queen d5, also threatening to checkmate on f7. With castle short, that's when you play knight takes e5, getting back your pawn. If knight takes e5, you go queen takes, let's say bishop f6. Again, you don't have to memorize anything. You can play queen g3, queen e4, or even queen h5, because after c6 by black, planning to go d5 next, you always have bishop d3 for example. You go rook e1 first, and after d5, bishop d3 intending to mate on h7, and also provoking a weakness on the king side. You just retreat your queen back to f3, and after bishop g7, we don't like that annoying bishop, so we want to get rid of it as fast as we can, beginning with bishop e3. If bishop e6, we go for our plan. Let's say bishop takes pawn, queen b6. Now you can go queen f6, guarding your pawn and also paralyzing black's position on the king side. Someday, your h-pawn will begin marching up to h5. Our b2 pawn is a poisoned pawn, so you don't have to worry about that. For example, if queen takes b2, you go rook a b1. At worst, you can just go ahead and take back black's pawn on b7. But we have this plan of messing up black's pawns on the king side, beginning with h4. We want to go h5. If they play pawn to h5, they are going to lose terribly because we have bishop sack on g6. And if f takes g6, we want to find the right time to capture black's light squared bishop on e6 with check, so that if rook f7, that's when we take on b7 with our rook, which will lead to mate in 4 like this, in this. Right, so this was all in the bishop e7 line where you play queen d5 immediately. But what if black plays the top engine move, pawn to f6? The main move that most chess masters play is knight to h4. You can see this in the Masters Database, but especially for rapid, blitz, and bullet chess, I want to introduce a super crazy move to you guys. Knight d4, sacrificing your knight for a quick checkmate sequence. For example, if he takes d4, you have rook e1 check first. If they block with their bishop, now you go queen h5 check. If king f8, whoops, queen f7 will be checkmate. If g6, this is when you go queen d5 intending to mate on f7. If d6, you have mate in 2 like this, or if black plays something else like rook f8. You have bishop h6, just wanting to get rid of this rook and mate on f7 again, which will be very bad. If knight e5, guarding the f7 square, you can just go ahead and take black's rook. If king takes, you have queen g8 checkmate. And if something like bishop takes, you still have queen f7 checkmate. Anyways, if you want to know more lines, you can find the link to the master PGN of this study in the comment section down below, and let Casper know what you think about this line. Once again, all you need is just to specialize in one opening in order to make your chess life easier. In the two knights defense, I just recommend that you castle short, sacrificing your e4 pawn. This works well especially in rapid chess. But hey, the top played move in this position is bishop c5, which may also arise from the Jiwoko piano. For example, beginning with e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, and bishop c5 right away. Then you castle short, and black responds with the top played move, knight f6. So it's just the same line but with a different move order. And let's see what Casper loves to do in this position before black castles short.
I love to play this gambit in serious tournaments and also in online blitz games, starting with the Italian game where I put my light squared bishop on c4 because I know the top played move is bishop c5, after which I just castle short. And hey, see, again the top played move is knight to f6, which is the beginning of sorrows for my opponents. This is where I go pawn to d4 immediately, the Deutz Gambit. All the highlighted moves in red are blunders except bishop takes, forcing black to give up his bishop pair in the opening stage. Bishop takes d4 is by far the top played move in the Masters database, after which I simplify the game this way: knight takes, and now I really want to win black's knight for free. That's why I go pawn to f4. If pawn takes, the knight will be free. If d6, I take the pawn, then pawn takes, after which I go bishop g5, pinning the knight to the queen. This one move will mess up black's pawn structure in the game. E.g., whenever black attacks my bishop, I go knight a6, defending it, and if queen e7, I go c3, chasing the knight away, then take on f6, mess up black's pawn structure, and go for that poor pawn. Black has no way to defend that pawn, oversimplifying the game in order to make my life easier. Back to my friend Kevin.
Perfect. I love Casper. Let us know in the comment section if you like this video, and also do consider to subscribe if you are new, cause that will encourage us to come up with more beautiful content for you guys. And like Casper always says, until next time, bye bye.